Good afternoon. I'll have an interesting idea to talk about today. And I think anyone who likes sports or any kind of sport or competition, even NASCAR or whatnot, will like this idea. And the idea I wanted to talk about was hunger. Now, I don't think there's many people, I think there's very few people in this world that really understand what hunger means, what it means to be hungry. You see, I don't believe in the old boxing concepts. They have this idea or this concept that the younger the fighter, the poorer he is, the poorer his background, coming from poverty or hard life and all that, makes him hungry and thus makes him a formidable opponent while he's young, helps him rise faster. And by the time he gets to the next champion, that champion has lived a nice party life and nice padded and everything, to the point that he's not hungry anymore and the hungry guy beats him. I do want to remind you that boxing is a very isolated sport. No matter what people tell you, yeah, it has a lot of gambling behind it. It has a lot of enthusiasm behind it, but that enthusiasm is from a small amount of people. Most people don't give a shit about boxing. First of all, boxing is not even like the only form of fighting. There's like wrestling and then all this other stuff. That's first of all. Number two, to be honest, like, it's not exactly the most legitimate sport. I would say it's one of the least legitimate sports out there, boxing. We all know about, there's nobody that has not heard of taking dives in boxing, okay? There are sports where there is some legitimacy and people understand that. Boxing is one of probably the most, it's one of the most illegitimate sports there is. The concept of being a boxer is just so stupid with Rocky Balboa and all that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's very stupid, to be very honest, and it's too illegitimate. So it's not worth watching. Either way, people watch those big championship fights, and those are not even, I mean, I don't know what they're doing by doing 12 rounds for a fight, which really should only last a minute or two at the max. And I'm, to be honest, I just it's a ridiculous sport. They really do claim hunger, as one of their terms. Hunger is a boxing term. Boxers are hungry. They tell the fighter, don't have sex or you have any kind of sexual activity 6 weeks prior to a championship fight, so that you're hungrier and more agitated and blah, 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 and more aggressive. It's all bullshit. And I'm not attacking these guys. There was about 10 or 11 different areas of life, of whatever competition that I could have attacked. But this is one of the most notorious and worst ones. And it actually does take care of the purpose. Now I can move on. To me, being hungry is like 100 dimensions. There's 100 dimensions to being hungry. No, you don't have to be poorer or in poverty and more deprived in order to be hungry. That's absolutely ridiculous. This world's history has been known for the hunger of kings, or the hunger of nobility, of princes, the hunger of, and I'm not knocking anybody, but to be fair, even if you say to me like, hey, Achilles, that famous Greek warrior was hungry, blah, blah, blah. No, hold on a second. Now you're gonna call me an idiot for bringing up the example of the Brad Pitt movie. I think he was playing Achilles. I could be wrong, right? You're gonna call me an idiot for that because it's not historically correct. It's Brad Pitt. It's just for looks, blah, blah, blah. But let's face it. The first fight, he takes out this gigantic fucking monster out, right? So what are we saying here? I mean, okay, call me stupid again. What about Snatch when Brad Pitt is playing a bare knuckle gypsy champion who takes out the big guy in the beginning, Gorgeous George? Gorgeous George is an actual underground boxer competing, and he's heavyweight, and he's gigantic, and Pitt knocks him out with a left hook, right? And Pitt kills the guy as Achilles with one stab. You know what? You know what, man? It's so stupid when people say, "Oh, the hungry, the unlikely, the loser, the fighter, warrior, rose," and that's all bullshit. If you just use your brain, you'll understand. Okay, with Achilles, he was supposed to be like like a very high level fighter, and I talked about last night how you don't necessarily